Peter Wimsey has proposed marriage to Harriet Vane, who's in Holloway awaiting re-trial on a charge of poisoning her ex-lover, Philip Boys, with arsenic. In his attempts to establish Miss Vane's innocence, Wimsey has enlisted the help of his friend, Chief Inspector Parker, who's now come up with some evidence that suggests Boys may have committed suicide.
Here's the lady you're anxious to meet, Peter. Mrs. Bullfinch. Allow me to introduce Lord Peter Wimsey.
Oh, please, I'm sure.
How do you do, Mrs. Bullfinch?
Mrs. Bullfinch, before her union with Mr. Bullfinch last August, was the life and soul of the saloon bar at the Nine Rings in Gray's Inn Road. Known to all for her charm and wit.
Oh, go on, you're a one, aren't you? Oh, don't you pay no attention to him, your lordship. You know what these police fellows are.
Bad dogs. But I don't need his testimonials. I can trust my own eyes and ears, Mrs. Bullfinch. And I can only say that if I had had the happiness to make your acquaintance before it was too late, it would have been my lifetime's ambition to wipe Mr. Bullfinch's eye.
Oh, you're every bit as bad as he is.
Worse. Now, Mrs. Bullfinch, if you wouldn't mind beginning at the beginning, telling his lordship your story.
Oh, about the young man and the white paper packet?
Precisely.
Why, of course. Well, my lord, before I was married, I was barmaid at the Nine Rings in Gray's Inn Road, as the Chief Inspector says. Miss Montague I was then. It's a better name than Bullfinch, and I was almost sorry to say goodbye to it, but there, a girl has to make a lot of sacrifices when she marries, and one more or less is nothing to signify. Well, as I was saying, I was working there up to my marriage, and I remember one evening in June, it wasn't far off the longest day, June the 20th, I think.
That's the evening we're interested in.
I think it was then. But as to the time of night, that I can tell you for sure, knowing how keen you techs always are on the hands of the clock. It was 10:05. I know, because a customer had just asked if the clock was right. Anyway, suddenly the door was pushed open, hurried like, and a young gentleman comes in, almost falls in, I might say, and he calls, "Give me a double brandy, quick." And then he puts his hands across his waistcoat, like so.
I see. Go on, Mrs. Bullfinch.
Well, I mixed him a double with just a splash of soda, and he gulps it down and says, "That's better," and sits down. Presently, he asked me for a glass of water, and I fetched it to him, and he says, "Sorry if I've frightened you, but I've just had a bad shock and it must have gone to my inside. I'm subject to gastric trouble," he says, "and any worry or shock always affects my stomach."
That would have been his interview with Miss Vane, Charles. She said it was pretty acrimonious.
Just so. Now, then what happened, Mrs. Bullfinch?
Well, then he takes out this white paper packet with some powder in it, and he says, "Perhaps this will stop it," he says. And he drops the powder into the glass of water and stirs it up with a fountain pen and drinks it off.
Did it fizz or anything?
No, it was just a plain powder, and it took a bit of time to mix. He drank it off, and then he says, "Thanks very much. I'd better go home now in case it takes me again." And he raised his hat. Oh, he was quite the gentleman, and off he goes.
How much powder do you think he put in?
Oh, a good dollop. Near a dessert spoonful it must have been.
And what happened to the packet?
Ah, there you are. We just got the last customer out when I see something white on the seat. I picked it up and see it was the paper packet. Oh, just one of them chemist packets, you know, with the ends turned up and a label stuck across, but there wasn't any of the label left. Anyway, I was going to chuck it on the fire, and then I thought, no, the gentleman might come back for it. So I stuck it up on the shelf behind the bar and never thought about it again till your policeman came round about it yesterday.
We searched the place for it, but can't find it, of course. However, if we do, Mrs. Bullfinch, we may ask you to come in and identify it.
Well, you know where to find me, Chief Inspector.
Yes.
Anything else now?
No, thank you, Mrs. Bullfinch. Thank you very much for coming down here.
Oh, don't mention it. Goodbye, then, my lord.
Goodbye, Mrs. Bullfinch, and thank you. Whoopee! We will beat you yet, Mr. Chief Inspector Parker.
I hope you do, old man. If that packet's found and shown to have contained arsenic, nobody will be happier than I. But I don't think there's much chance of that, do you? And if the packet isn't found, well, Mrs. Bullfinch's evidence might persuade the jury to give Miss Vane the benefit of the doubt.
But it will hardly establish her innocence. You're quite right, Charles, and that won't do. I want to see Miss Vane absolutely cleared, and the blame, if there is any, fixed in the right quarter. And that means hard evidence.
Precisely. Well, if you do find out anything which really proves that we've been on the wrong track, you'll let us know, won't you? We don't want to make large and ignominious public mistakes.
If Philip Boyce did kill himself, why did he do it? That's the question we must answer. I don't believe it was because he was heartbroken after Miss Vane left him. I don't even believe his interview with her that evening had anything to do with it. He had something else on his mind. Money problems, perhaps. Norman Urquhart.
The cousin?
Yes. Boys lived in his house for some time, and they dined together on the night in question. If anything was troubling Boys, he might have mentioned it then.
That's true.
I think I'll go and see Mr. Urquhart at his office. He's a solicitor, isn't he?
Yes, in Bedford Row.
Yes, I'll pop along tomorrow, and at the same time I think I'll put a spy into his domestic establishment, just to pick up any gossip, don't you know. And I think I know the very man for the job. Bunter?
My lord?
Bunter, do you feel at your brightest and most truly fascinating? Does a livelier iris, winter weather notwithstanding, shine upon the burnished Bunter? Have you got that sort of conquering feeling, the Don Juan touch, so to speak?
My lord?
You have a good, upstanding, impressive figure, if I may say so. A bold and roving eye when off duty, a ready tongue, and I am persuaded you have a way with you. What more should any cook or parlour-maid want?
I am always happy to exert myself to the best of my capacity in your lordship's service.
I am aware of it, Bunter. Morning by morning, my coffee is brought, my bath is prepared, my razor laid out, my ties and socks sorted, and my bacon and eggs brought to me in a lordly dish. No matter. This time I demand a more perilous devotion. Perilous for us both, my Bunter. For if you were to be carried away, a helpless martyr to matrimony...
Who is the party, my lord?
There are two of them. Two ladies lived in a bower, Binnery, oh, Binnery. They are part of the establishment at Mr. Norman Urquhart's house in Woburn Square. The parlour-maid is one Hannah Westlock, a woman in her 30s, I fancy, and not ill-favoured. The other is the cook, a fine woman, Bunter, on the mature side, but none the worse for that.
Certainly not, my lord. If I may say so, the woman of ripe years and queenly figure is frequently more susceptible to delicate attentions than the giddy and thoughtless young beauty.
True. Let us suppose, Bunter, that you were to be the bearer of a courteous missive to Mr. Urquhart. Could you, in the short space of time at your disposal, insinuate yourself, snake-like, as it were, into the bosom of the household?
If you desire it, my lord, I will insinuate myself to your lordship's satisfaction.
Noble fellow. In case of any action for breach of promise or any consequence of that description, the charges will, of course, be borne by the management.
I am obliged to your lordship. When would your lordship wish me to commence?
As soon as I've written a note to Mr. Urquhart, I will ring.
Very good, my lord.
Bunter, I have a sensation of being hovered over, and I don't like it. It is unusual, and it unnerves me. I implore you not to hover. Is the proposition distasteful, or do you want me to get a new hat? What is troubling your conscience?
I beg your lordship's pardon. It had occurred to my mind to ask your lordship, with every respect...
Oh, God, Bunter, don't break it gently. I can't bear it. Stab and end the creature to the heft. What is it?
I wish to ask, my lord, whether your lordship thought of making any changes in your establishment.
Changes, Bunter? When I have just eloquently expressed you my undying attachment to the loved routine of coffee, bath, razor, socks, eggs and bacon, and the old familiar faces? You are not giving me warning, are you?
No, indeed, my lord. I should be very sorry to leave your lordship's service. But I had thought it possible that if your lordship was about to contract new ties...
I knew it was something in the haberdashery department.
Your lordship misunderstands me. I referred to domestic ties, my lord.
Ah.
Sometimes, when a gentleman reorganises his household on a matrimonial basis, the lady may prefer to have a voice in the selection of the gentleman's personal attendant, in which case...
Bunter, may I ask where you have contracted these ideas?
I ventured to draw an inference, my lord.
This comes of training people to be detectives. Have I been nourishing a sleuth-hound on my own hearthstone? May I ask if you've gone so far as to give a name to the lady?
Yes, my lord. A very agreeable lady, if I may say so, my lord.
It strikes you that way, does it? The circumstances, of course, are unusual.
Yes, my lord. I might perhaps make so bold as to call them romantic.
You may make so bold as to call them damnable, Bunter.
Yes, my lord.
You won't desert the ship?
Not on any account, my lord.
Then don't come frightening me again. My nerves are not what they were. Now then, there is the note. Take it round and do your best.
Very good, my lord.
Oh, and Bunter...
My lord?
It seems, Bunter, that I am being obvious. I have no wish to be anything of the kind. If you see me being obvious, will you drop me a hint?
Certainly, my lord.
Have another crumpet, do, Mr. Bunter. More tea won't be a moment.
Thank you, Miss Westlock. You were saying, Mrs. Pettican?
Oh, just what a dreadful, wicked woman she must have been, that Harriet Vane. A torturing of the poor soul in that long-winded way. Bashing on the head or the hasty use of a carving knife when roused, I can understand. But the horrors of slow poisoning is the work of a fiend in human form, in my opinion.
Fiend is the only word. I quite agree.
And the wickedness of it, Mr. Bunter, quite apart from the causing of a painful death to a fellow being. Why, it's only the mercy of Providence we weren't all brought under suspicion.
But you had no difficulty in proving that it hadn't happened in this house, surely? Miss Westlock gave her evidence so beautiful at the trial, I'm sure she made it clear as clear could be to the jury.
Well, I was never one to be shy. And then, what with going through it all so careful with the master, and then with the police, I knew what the questions would be and was prepared, as you might say.
I wonder you could speak so exactly to every little detail all that time ago.
Well, you see, Mr. Bunter, the very morning after Mr. Boys was took ill, Master comes down to us and he says, "I'm afraid Mr. Boys is very sick," he says. "He thinks he must have ate something as disagreed with him," he says, "and perhaps it might have been the chicken. So I want you and Cook," he says, "to run through with me everything we had for dinner last night to see if we can think what it could have been." "Well, sir," I said, "I don't see that Mr. Boys could have ate anything unwholesome here. For Cook and me had just the same, except the sweet omelette, sir, and we're as right as rain," I said.
And I said the same. Such a plain, simple dinner as it was, too. No oysters, no mussels, no anything of that sort, as it's well known shellfish is poison to some people's stomachs. But a good strengthening drop of soup, and a bit of nice turbot, and a casserole chicken with turnips and carrots done in the gravy, and a jam omelette. Now, what could be lighter and better?
Nothing, Mrs. Pettican. Mr. Boys made the omelette himself that night, didn't he? At the table.
He did, yes, and well I remember it, for Mr. Urquhart asked particular after the eggs, was they new laid, and I reminded him they was some he brought in himself that afternoon from that shop on the corner of Lamb's Conduit Street, and that one of them was a little cracked, and he'd said, "We'll use that in the omelette tonight, Hannah." And I brought out a clean bowl from the kitchen and put them straight in, the cracked one and 3 more besides, and never touched them again till I brought them to table.
And both Mr. Boys and Mr. Urquhart partook of the omelette, of course.
Oh, yes, heartily.
And as for the chicken, Mr. Bunter, that was a little beauty. Oh, it seemed a shame to casserole it, but Mr. Urquhart's very partial to a casserole chicken. He says as there's more flavour to them that way, and I don't know but what is right.
Well, it's certain there was nothing unwholesome about that anyway, Mrs. Pettican, otherwise you and Miss Westlock could scarcely have escaped it.
No, indeed. We finished it every bit, except a little piece I gave to the cat.
There was a drop of soup left. Not much, just a wee drain. And Mr. Urquhart took that up to show to the doctor, and he tasted it and said it was very good.
And as for the burgundy, which was the only thing Mr. Boys had to himself like, Mr. Urquhart told me to cork it up tight and keep it. And just as well I did, because of course the police asked to see it when the time came.
It was very far-seeing of Mr. Urquhart to take such precautions when there wasn't any thought at the time but that the poor man died naturally.
Yes. We put it down to him being a solicitor and knowing what ought to be done in case of sudden death. Very particular he was, too. Got me to put a bit of sticking plaster over the mouth of the bottle and write my initials on it so that it shouldn't be opened accidental.
How very fortunate. Many's the case his lordship has seen in which an innocent man has been brought near to the gallows for lack of a simple little precaution like that.
And when I think how near Mr. Urquhart was to being away from home at the time, the thought fair gives me palpitations. Called away he was to that tiresome old woman what's always a-dying and never dies. Why, he was up there again only last week.
Which old woman is that, Mrs. Pettican?
Why, his great-aunt, Mrs. Rayburn, up in Windle. Rich as sneezes she is, by all accounts, and no good to nobody, for she's quite childish, so they say. A wicked old woman she was, too, in her day. Queen Victoria wouldn't never allow her to act before the royal family. She knew too much about her goings-on.
An actress, was she?
Oh, yes, and a very beautiful one, they say, though I can't rightly recollect what her stage name was. Oh, it was a queer one, I know. Hyde Park or Southern Gardens or something like that. Anyway, her other relations, Mr. Boyce's side of the family, they wouldn't have nothing to do with her, despite the money. Only Mr. Urquhart. And I don't suppose he wouldn't neither, only he's her solicitor, and it's his duty to do so.
So I suppose he stands to gain something when she pegs out, eh?
That's as maybe. He's not a talker. But it stands to reason he wouldn't always be tearing off to Westmoreland for nothing. Though I couldn't care myself to put my hand to money that's wickedly come by. It would not bring a blessing with it, Mr. Bunter.
Oh, it's easy talking, my girl, when you ain't likely to be put in the way of temptation. There's skeletons in many a cupboard, if the truth were known.
Ah, I believe you. I've seen diamond necklaces and fur coats that should have been labelled wages of sin if deeds done in the dark were to be proclaimed upon the housetops, Mrs. Pettican.
Indeed, yes, Mr. Bunter. Well, Hannah, come along now. We must be getting on.
As you say, cook.
Then I shall take my leave, Mrs. Pettican. Thank you for your hospitality.
Oh, not at all, Mr. Bunter. I hope as you'll come again. The master makes no objections to respectable gentlemen visitors at tea time. Wednesday is my half-day.
Mine's Friday. And every other Sunday. If you should be evangelical, Mr. Bunter, the Reverend Crawford in Judd Street is a beautiful preacher.
I shall look forward to that, Miss Westlock. Oh, incidentally, if Mr. Boyce was also a nephew of old Mrs. Rayburn's...
Yes?
Did he have any expectations from her?
Oh, well, I don't know. He might have done, Mr. Bunter. Had he lived...
Mr. Urquhart will see you in just a moment, my lord, if you care to take a seat.
Yeah, thank you.
I trust you will excuse me if I return to my work, my lord. We are short of staff at the moment, our young lady clerk having just left us to get married, so there isn't a moment to spare in the office.
Of course. Have you not tried getting temporary assistance?
Oh, it's not easy to find anyone, my lord. Some of the work is confidential, and an atmosphere of permanence is desirable.
Lord Peter, I'm so sorry to have kept you. Won't you come in now?
Thank you, Mr. Urquhart.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Now, what can I do for you?
Well, I'm interested in the vein poisoning trial. Acting for the defence, don't you know? And I wondered if I could bother you with a few questions. I'm afraid I'm being a frightful nuisance and all that.
Not at all, Lord Peter. I'm only too delighted to help.
Yeah, thank you. Well, can you tell me then, had Mr. Boyce any sort of financial expectations? I had an idea there was a rich aunt somewhere.
Oh, no. Unless you're thinking of old Cremona Garden. She's a great aunt on his mother's side, but she hasn't had anything to do with them for many years.
The celebrated Cremona Garden, eh? Well, I'm dashed. I'd no idea she was still alive.
Yes, she lives in Windle in Westmoreland. I've just been up there to see her. She's been quite childish, poor old lady, for the last 5 years or so.
Poor old Cremona Garden. She must be getting on now. Surely she can't last much longer.
As a matter of fact, we all thought she'd gone last week. Her heart is giving out. She's over 90, poor soul.
Has she any other relations besides you now?
No. Not that my going up there can do her any good, but I'm a man of business too, so it's just as well I should be on the spot when anything happens.
Oh, quite. And being a man of business, of course, you know how she has left her money.
Well, yes, of course. Though I don't quite understand, if you'll forgive my saying so, what that has to do with the present problem.
Why, don't you see? It just occurred to me that Philip Boyes might have got himself into some kind of financial mess-up and have, well, taken the short way out of it. But if he had any expectations from Mrs. Rayburn, and she was so near to shuffling off this mortal thingamy, well, he'd have waited, what?
Oh, I see. You're trying to make out a case for suicide.
Aha.
Well, I agree with you. It's the most hopeful defence for Miss Vane's friends to put up. And as far as that goes, I can support you. Inasmuch, that is, as Mrs. Rayburn did not leave Philip anything, and he knew it.
Knew it?
He asked me one day, and I was obliged to tell him that he hadn't the least chance of getting anything from her. The will had been made, and as she was by then childish, there was no possibility that it would ever be altered.
I see. Is it much, by the way?
Pretty fair. About 70 or 80,000.
Oh, very sickening for him to think of all that good stuff going west and not getting a look in oneself. By the way, how about you? Don't you get anything? Oh, I beg your pardon. Fearfully inquisitive and all that. Deuced impertinent. It's a failing of mine. No, wash it out. I'm sorry.
There's no real reason why you shouldn't know, though one's professional instinct is to avoid disclosing one's client's affairs. As a matter of fact, I am the sole legatee.
Oh, interesting. So one great-nephew gets nothing and the other scoops the pool, what?
Well, that was because... Well, since we've gone so far, I will tell you what the will actually says. Excuse me one moment. Mr. Pond, could you bring me in the deed box labelled Rayburn?
Yes, Mr. Urquhart.
I haven't got the will itself here, Lord Peter, but I have the draft. This is all rather irregular. But there are times when too much discretion is as bad as too little. Thank you, Mr. Pond. Oh, dear. Doesn't seem to be... Oh, of course, how forgetful of me. I'm so sorry. It's in my safe at home. I got it out for reference last June and quite forgot to bring it back. However, the gist of it was...
Well, never mind. There's no hurry. If I called at your house tomorrow, perhaps I could see it then.
By all means, if you think it important.
Thank you, Mr. Urquhart. Then I'll call round at 9 o'clock, say. What is so dashed curious, Bunter, is that everybody is so remarkably helpful about this case. Particularly the sleek and fresh-faced Mr. Urquhart. They all cheerfully answer questions which one has no right to ask and burst into explanations in the most unnecessary manner. None of them seems to have anything to conceal.
If Mr. Boyes committed suicide, my lord, surely none of them have anything to conceal.
True, oh, Bunter. Well, I must patter along to Woburn Place and take a look at this jolly old will. Oh, by the way, there is a vacancy for a confidential female clerk at Mr. Urquhart's office. Could you ring Miss Climpson and ask her to send along one of her ladies? Just to pick up gossip, tell her. Oh, and not too much face powder, and skirts the regulation 4 inches below the knee. The last girl left to be married, and the head clerk's feeling anti-sex appeal.
Very good, my lord.
I'd better make quite clear the family connection of the Boyses and the Urquharts, Lord Peter, so that you will understand the will.
All right, here.
The common ancestor is old John Hubbard, a highly respectable banker at the beginning of the last century. He had 3 daughters, Jane, Mary, and Rosanna. The eldest, Jane, married a man called Henry Brown, who was a schoolmaster and quite repellently moral. They had 1 daughter, Julia, who eventually married the Reverend Arthur Boyes and was the mother of Philip Boyes. The second daughter, Mary, accepted the hand of one Josiah Urquhart, and they had a son, Charles, who entered the solicitor's office, did well, and finally became a partner in the firm. He was my father, and I'm his successor in the legal business.
All clear so far.
Good. Now, the third daughter, Rosanna, was made of different stuff. To the horror of her parents, she ran away from home and went on the stage. They erased her name from the family Bible. She determined to justify their worst suspicions. She became the spoilt darling of fashionable London, and under the stage name of Cremorne Garden went on from one disreputable triumph to another. Well, the long and short of it was that the eldest sister, Jane, would have nothing to do with the family black sheep. My grandparents were less straight-laced and were polite in a distant kind of way, and in consequence she eventually put her business into my father's hands. Well, the old lady never forgot or forgave anything. The very mention of the boy's Brown connection made her foam at the mouth. Hence, when she came to make her will... Well, see for yourself.
Yeah, thank you. March 14th, 1921. Oh, I see. Yes, here we are. All the rest of my property, whatsoever and wheresoever situated, I give to my great-nephew Norman Urquhart. And so on, so on. In token of gratitude shown to me by my said great-nephew Norman Urquhart and his father, the late Charles Urquhart, and to ensure that no part of my property shall come into the hands of my great-nephew Philip Boys or his descendants. And to this end, and to mark my sense of the inhuman treatment meted out to me by the family of the said Philip Boys, I enjoin upon the said Norman Urquhart as my dying wish that he neither give, lend, nor convey to the said Philip Boys any part of the income derived from the said property, etc., etc., etc. Oh, I see. Well, that's pretty clear. And pretty vindictive. If Boys had been in any financial trouble, he couldn't even have expected help from you.
Unfortunately not. I should have been morally bound to refuse.
Quite. Well, thank you, Mr. Urquhart. I'm glad I've seen that, very glad. It makes the suicide theory a good deal more probable.
A letter, my lord.
Thank you, Bunter. Ah, it's from Miss Murchison.
My lord?
Miss Climpson's lady, the spy we've planted in Mr. Urquhart's office. Oh, interesting. She seems to think that Urquhart may have been involved with the Megatherium Trust before their big crash.
Indeed, my lord. Hardly the type of enterprise one would expect a respectable solicitor to be involved in.
Certainly not. I'll ask Freddie Arbuthnot to look into it. He understands stocks and... Good God.
My lord?
This letter was typed on a machine with a newly chipped P and an A slightly out of alignment.
Indeed, my lord.
And so was the will Urquhart showed me this morning.
My lord.
That will, Bunter, was supposed to have been typed 8 years ago.
Peter Wimsey is attempting to prove the innocence of Harriet Vane, who is awaiting retrial for the murder of her ex-lover, novelist Philip Boys. His investigations have, however, now been interrupted by Christmas, which he's spending, as usual, at Duke's Denver, with the family and various friends, including Mrs. Freak Dimsworthy, Captain Tommy Bates, and Miss Titterton.
And is it true, Lord Peter, dear, that you're defending this frightful poisoning woman?
I am endeavouring to secure Miss Vane's acquittal, Mrs. Dimsworthy. I would have thought it somewhat previous to refer to her
Peter, dear.
Yes, Mother?
Have another cup of tea.
Oh, right, her.
The Vane case, eh? Well, I've no doubt she did it, Freaky. And I must say I don't blame her. Perfectly foul blighter, that Boys. Had his photograph on the dust cover of his book, you know. That's the sort of squid he was.
Oh, but he was a very fine writer, Tommy. His books are positively Gallic in their audacity and restraint.
I wouldn't have the muck in the house. I caught Hilda with that, and I said, now you send that book straight back to the library. I don't interfere, but one must draw the line somewhere.
How do you know what it was like, Tommy?
Why, James Douglas's article in the Express was good enough for me. The paragraphs he quoted were filthy. Positively filthy.
Well, it's a good thing we've all read them, then. Forewarned is forearmed, what?
Oh, yes, we owe a great debt of gratitude to the press, you know. So kind of them to pick out all the plums for us and save us the trouble of reading the books, don't you think? And such a joy for the poor dear people who can't afford 7 and 6pence or even a library subscription, though I'm sure that works out cheaply enough if one is a quick reader. Not that the cheap ones would take those books, for I asked my maid. She's such a superior girl, and so keen on improving her mind, which is more than I can say for most of my friends. But no doubt it is all due to free education for the people, and I suspect her, in my heart, of voting Labour. Though I never asked, because I don't think it's fair. No. And besides, if I did, I couldn't very well take any notice of it, could I?
I don't see why not, Duchess. Tommy, surely you're not suggesting that the Vane woman murdered Philip Boys because of his books?
Yeah, because of her own, more likely. I think the whole thing's a publicity stunt gone wrong. Now, it'll be a case of hanging the goose that lays the golden eggs, what? Well, unless Wimsey can pull off one of his conjuring tricks, of course.
Oh, I do hope you do, Lord Peter.
So do I, Mr. Tutton. What's more, I really think I might. With the help of others, naturally.
Help?
Oh, Peter has all these marvellous women to assist him, you know.
Women? What women, Duchess?
Women detectives. Only, of course, they're not real detectives, you know. Oh, no. They're not sleuths like Peter, that is, or policemen like Charles Parker, bless him. They're organised by a Miss Clemson. She runs a typing bureau in West London, only it isn't a typing bureau at all, of course, although it has to take on occasional work to keep up appearances. But most of the time, do you see, the females who work there are employed answering shady advertisements in the newspapers and chasing up blackmailers and white slavers and the most appalling scoundrels and bringing them to justice. It's so exciting.
Mother.
Yes, dear. Oh, I see, yes, of course. Yes, well, Peter's very reticent about them, you see, but they do so much good work. I'm sure he's very proud of them, really. They're all what are known as superfluous women. Such an unfair word. Quite cruel, really. But they're most certainly not superfluous anymore. What do you call your women, dear? What's the name you have for them?
Mother, please.
Your cattery. That's it. It's his cattery. Meow. It's so amusing. Although, of course, one wouldn't be so indiscreet as to use the term in their presence.
Of course not. But do tell us, Lord Peter, what this Miss Vane is like. Have you talked to her?
I saw in the papers that she'd had hundreds of offers of marriage.
Out of one nose into the other. What?
You know, Tommy, there are times
Peter.
Yes, Mater.
I do wish, dear, you'd go and see what's happened to Gerald. Tell him his tea's getting cold.
Righto, Mother. But I won't be back for a while, if you don't mind. I want to have a chat with Freddie about the case. Stocks and shares angle, don't you know? He's an ass about everything else, but he does seem to understand them.
Very well, dear.
Oh, dash it. Never could play billiards. Off you go, Wimsey.
Thank you. What do you know about the Megatherium Trust, Freddie?
Megatherium? Well, it crashed 3 years ago. Lots of money lost on all sides. What's the Meg got to do with your murder hunt?
I don't know. Possibly nothing. But the most hopeful theory so far is that Philip Boys committed suicide because of financial difficulties. He doesn't appear to have known much about money, so it's possible he relied on the advice of his cousin, Norman Urquhart.
Oh, the sleek family lawyer chappie.
Yes. Well, I've now got a spy in Mr. Urquhart's office. A Miss Murchison from my cattery, don't you know? And a very observant woman she is. She overheard a phone call last week, and putting two and two together, she thinks it's likely Urquhart was involved with Megatherium. No evidence, you understand, just suspicion.
So, do you think Boys could have tried his hand at a bit of speculating and lost a packet?
Well, if he did, it would explain a lot. He knew he wasn't going to get anything when his rich old great-aunt died, because Urquhart's shown me a draft of her will, and she cut him off without a penny. Though I may say that draft is not above suspicion itself, for reasons which I won't bore you with.
But, is there any evidence that he could have committed suicide, Peter? Did he have any arsenic?
I don't know. but he was seen in a Bloomsbury pub on the night in question, tipping a white powder into a glass of water. Chief Inspector Parker is meant to be looking for the packet now, but I'd like you to investigate the city end, if you would. Ask discreet questions about Urquhart and the megatherium and so forth, could you?
Oh, absolutely. Delighted to be of assistance and all that.
Ah, thanks. Talking of Parker, I suppose I'd better have a brotherly word with Mary when she arrives.
Mary? I say, Wimsey, what's she got to do with it?
Yeah. Yes, well, never you mind, Freddie. Never you mind. I say, Mary, do you say anything of old Parker these days?
I've had dinner with him once or twice when I was in town.
Have you? Oh, he's a very decent sort. Reliable, homespun, that sort of thing. Not amusing, exactly.
A little solid.
As you say, a little solid. I should hate anything upsetting to happen to Parker. He'd take it hard. I mean to say, it wouldn't be fair to muck about with his feelings and so on.
Worried, Peter?
No. But I'd rather like him to have fair play.
Well, I can't very well say yes or no until he asks me, can I?
Can't you?
Well, not to him. Would upset his ideas of decorum, don't you think?
Yes, I suppose it would. But it would probably upset them just as much if he did ask you. He would feel that the mere idea of hearing a butler announce Chief Detective Inspector and Lady Mary Parker would have something shocking about it.
It's stalemate, then, isn't it?
You could stop dining with him.
I could do that, of course.
And the mere fact that you don't... I see. Would it be any good if I demanded to know his intentions in the true Victorian manner?
Why this sudden thirst for getting your family off your hands, old man? Peter, nobody's being horrible to you, are they?
No. Oh, I'm just feeling rather like a benevolent uncle, that's all. Old age creeping on. That passion for being useful which attacks the best of us when we're getting past our prime.
Like me with the house decorating. Oh, I designed these pyjamas, by the way. Don't you think they're rather entertaining? I expect Chief Inspector Parker prefers the old-fashioned nightgown. Never mind, I shall be brave and devoted. Here and now I cast off my pyjamas forever.
No, not here and now. Respect a brother's feelings. But you tell me what I want to know. I am to inform my friend Charles Parker that if he will abandon his natural modesty and propose, you will abandon your pyjams and say yes.
Yes. Thank you, Peter.
Bravo, Lord Peter. That was delightful.
Thank you, Miss Murchison. Now then, let's get down to business. I find Bach good for the brain, don't you? Steady and influence and all that.
I quite agree. Well, you asked me to find out about the typewriter in Mr. Urquhart's office.
Yes?
It was bought new 3 years ago.
Was it indeed? So Mr. Urquhart has got something to hide. Well, that's rather a blow to the boy's suicide theory.
I don't quite understand. What makes you think Mr. Urquhart has something to hide?
When I went to see him before Christmas, he offered, quite unnecessarily, to show me Mrs. Rayburn's will.
That's his great-aunt.
And Philip Boyce's great-aunt, too, yes. He asked for Mrs. Rayburn's deed box to be brought in and pretended to search for the will, but then remembered that he'd left it at home. He invited me to call round the next morning, which I did, and lo and behold, there was the draft of a will. The only snag is that it was typed on a machine which you say is 3 years old, and yet it was dated 8 years ago.
Oh, good gracious. Do you suspect he typed it out himself that night?
Well, it looks rather like that, certainly.
But why?
I don't know. Either Mrs. Rayburn never made a will at all, or if she did, it's not along the lines of the one he showed me. Miss Murchison?
Yes?
What are your feelings about doing something illegal?
In a good cause?
In a very good cause.
I imagine that if I'm taken up, you will pay any necessary costs.
Certainly.
And if I go to prison?
I don't think it'll come to that. There's a slight risk, I admit, that you might be brought up for attempted theft or for being in possession of safe-breaking tools, but that is the most that could happen.
Oh, well, why not? It's all in the game.
You mean that?
Yes.
Splendid. Then what I want you to do is break into Mrs. Raven's deed box and look for the real will.
Do you want me to steal it?
No. Just try to memorize the chief points in it, especially the names of the chief legatee or legatees and of the residuary legatee. I particularly want to know whether anything was left to Philip Boys.
That seems quite straightforward, Lord Peter. Except for one thing. The deed boxes are all locked, and Mr. Urquhart carries the keys with him at all times.
Don't you know how to pick a lock?
Oh, not in the least, I'm afraid.
I often wonder what we go to school for. We never seem to learn anything really useful. Well, I suppose I'd better take you to an expert for some rather intensive training. Should you mind putting your coat on and coming round with me to see a friend? Oh dear, we seem to have struck a meeting. Oh well, it can't be helped. Let's go in and wait. That's our man, Miss Murchison.
The one with the face like a bulldog?
Yes.
Good Lord. Has he a name?
Now you mention it, I believe he has, but he's never called by it. It's Rum.
Oh, not very, perhaps, if he gives lessons in lock-picking.
I mean his name's Rum.
Oh, what is it?
Dash it, I mean Rum is his name.
Oh, dear. Oh, I beg your pardon.
But he doesn't care to use it now that he's a total abstainer.
Then what does one call him?
Well, I call him Bill, but when he was at the head of his profession, they called him Blindfold Bill. In his day, he was the most accomplished burglar and safe-breaker in 3 kingdoms. I found him on my premises one night and struck up a sort of alliance with him. Took lessons from him and all that. He was a bit shy at first, but he got converted by another friend of mine, and the long and the short of it was, he gave himself up, took his medicine, and is now a very honest and excellent locksmith of the ordinary kind. Oh, hello, he spotted us.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, welcome one and welcome all. Brethren, here is a dear brother and sister in the Lord, as is come out of the haunts of the rich and the riotous living of the West End, to join us with singing the songs of Zion. Let us sing and give praise. Hallelujah. We know that many shall come from the east and from the west, and sit down at the Lord's feast, while many that think themselves chosen shall be cast into outer darkness. Therefore, let us not say, because this man wears a shiny eyeglass, that he is not a chosen vessel, or because this woman wears a diamond necklace and rides in a Rolls Royce, she will not therefore wear a white robe and a gold crown in the New Jerusalem. Let us unite now in thanksgiving for heaven's mercies in hymn number 102. And Lord Peter, sir, I'll be with you in a moment. What a friend we have indeed.
Well, Bill, as you see, I brought you a new pupil.
Good afternoon, Bill.
How do, miss? Always happy to serve you, sir, knowing as it's the Lord's work. Glory be.
That's right. Now, Bill, I've got my eye on a solicitor's deed box.
Ooh.
This lady can get access to it if you can show her the way inside it.
Of course I can. There ain't a deed box in this here city what I couldn't open blindfold in boxing gloves and a stick of boiled macaroni.
I know, Bill, but it ain't you that's got to do it. Can you teach the lady how to work it?
Sure I can. What kind of lock is it, lady?
Oh, I don't know. An ordinary lock, I think. I mean, it has the usual sort of a key, not a Brahma or anything like that.
Then half an hour will teach you all you want, miss. Now, let's see now. Glory, glory, glory. Ah, here we are.
Oh, are those picklocks?
That's what they are, miss. Engines of Satan. Well, miss, the first thing is to understand the construction of the lock.
Oh, yes.
Now, just you look here. You holes up the spring, like so.
Yes.
And then you can thrust the catch back easy.
Oh.
Just you try that.
Oh, thank you. so.
Very good, miss, very good. Now, the difficulty is, of course, that when the lock's in place, you can't use your eyes.
Oh, no.
No. But you has your hearing, and you has the feeling in your fingers given you by Providence, praise his name, for that purpose. So, what you has to do, miss, is to shut your eyes and see with your fingers, like, when you've got your spring hooked back sufficient to let the catch go past, like so.
Oh.
Have a go.
Oh, like this.
There's a bit more, a bit more.
Yes.
Yeah, there. Oh. Well done, miss. Lord Peter, sir, I'll tell you something. We got a real cracksman in the making here, sir. A real cracksman.
So you managed to break into the box. Well done, Miss Murchison. Now calm down and tell me everything that happened from the beginning.
Oh, yes, Lord Peter. I'm so sorry. I'm rather excited. Well, I decided that the best time to attempt the job was after work, as there's always someone else in the office at lunchtime. So what I did was type out the first page of a very long affidavit incorrectly. That is, leaving out an important paragraph. Mr. Urquhart noticed it at once and was very cross, because it had to go round to another solicitor's before 10 the next morning. So I offered to stay on and retype it.
Having already done so, of course.
Quite so. I then waited until I was sure both Mr. Urquhart and Mr. Pond were safely on the tube, and then I got to work. Incidentally, the Rayburn box has been moved, I'm sure, in the last day or so, and was on a top shelf underneath 4 others.
How tiresome.
Extremely, because I had to stand on my chair to get it down, and I was in the process of doing this when I heard someone at the door.
Are you looking for something, Miss Murchison?
Oh, Mr. Pond. Oh, how you startled me. I thought you'd gone.
I presumed you had, too. I have merely returned to collect a little parcel I forgot. What is your business here at this time of night?
Oh, I had some extra typing to do. Left out a barely paragraph on page 1. It would be page 1, of course. And he wants the type round at Hanson's by 10 o'clock.
Yes. Those machines make you careless. Ah, well, I must hurry along. Good night again, Miss Murchison.
Good night.
Oh, by the way, were you looking for something?
Oh, yes. I was looking for a mouse. I was just sitting working when I saw it run along the top of the cupboard and up into the wall behind those boxes.
Dirty little beasts. The place is overrun with them. I've often said we ought to have a cat here. No hope of catching it now, though. You're not afraid of mice, apparently.
Oh, no. In your day, I suppose all women were afraid of mice.
Yes, they were. But then, of course, their garments were longer.
Oh, rotten for them.
They were very graceful in appearance. And now, Miss Murchison, I beg you to step down from that chair and allow me to assist you in replacing those boxes.
Oh, there's no need, Mr. Pond.
Yes, there is, Miss Murchison.
I hope the whole operation wasn't plagued with interruptions like that, Miss Murchison.
Fortunately not. But I was worried that Mrs. Hodges, the cleaning lady, would shortly be in, so I had to be quick. I got the box down and then slipped into Mr. Urquhart's private office, where I couldn't be observed through the window. Oh, by this time my hands were cold and shaking, and I was not in the best condition to profit by Bill's instructions. So I took a few deep breaths and resolved not to hurry myself. I took one of Bill's keys, I slipped it into the lock, I turned it, I twiddled it. For years, it seemed, I was scratching about aimlessly. Suddenly I felt the spring press against the hooked end. I felt the lever move, and then, click, the lock was open.
And inside the box?
Not a great many papers. No will. Not even a copy of a will. 2 things only I thought interesting. One was a power of attorney dated January 1925, giving Mr. Urquhart full powers to act for Mrs. Rayburn.
Interesting. And the other?
A deed of trust, making over the whole of her property to him, in trust for herself, and providing that he should pay her personal expenses every year.
Very interesting. What was the date of that one?
July 1920. And there was a letter attached to it, a letter from Rosanna Rayburn to Norman Urquhart, in his capacity as her solicitor. And in it, she says that next time he comes to see her, she will give him instructions about her will.
So there is a will. I wonder where it is.
Come in. Peter, come in. You come about Philip Boy's packet of powder?
Not this time. I don't suppose you'll hear anything more of that. I don't think it's suicide anyway, after all. No, old Parker Bird, it's, well, it's a rather more delicate matter. It's about my sister.
About Lady Mary?
Yes. Yes, I understand she's been going about with you, dining and all that sort of thing, what?
Oh, Lady Mary's honoured me on one or two occasions with her company. I didn't think she... I didn't know... I understood it was perfect.
But did you understand? That's the point. You see, Mary's a very nice-minded sort of girl, though I say...
I assure you there's no need to tell me that. Do you suppose I should misinterpret her kindness? It's the custom nowadays for women of the highest character to dine unchaperoned with their friends, and Lady Mary's...
Look, I'm not suggesting a chaperone. Mary wouldn't stick it for one thing, and I think it's all bosh anyhow. Still, being her brother and all that, I suppose that it is my, so to speak, duty to push round and drop the helpful word here and there.
I see. Well, I suppose I ought not to have presumed to...
What did you presume, O.P.?
Nothing to which anybody could object. What are you thinking of, Wimsey? If you imagine I have ever said a word to her that couldn't be said with the greatest propriety...
In the presence of her mother, you wrong the purest and sweetest woman that ever lived and insult your friend. What a perfect Victorian you are, Charles. I should like to keep you in a glass case. Of course you haven't said a word. What I want to know is why.
What?
For the last 5 years or so, you have been looking like a demented sheep at my sister and starting like a rabbit whenever her name's mentioned. What do you mean by it? A man doesn't like to see a man go all wobbly about his sister. At least not with such a prolonged wobble. It's unsightly, it's irritating. Why not slap the manly thorax and say, Peter, my dear old mangle wurzel, I have decided to dig myself into the old family trench and be a brother to you. What's stopping you? Is it Gerald? He's an ass, I know, but he's not a bad old stick, really. Is it Helen? She's a bit of a wart, but you needn't see much of her. Or is it me? Now, come on, cough up the difficulty, old thing, and we'll have it removed in a plain van. Now then.
Are you asking me?
I am asking your intentions, damn it. And if that's not Victorian enough, I don't know what is.
But, look here, Peter, don't be a damn fool. How can I ask your sister to marry me?
Well, how you do it is your affair. You might say, what about a spot of matrimony, old dear? That's up to date and plain and unmistakable. Or you could go down on one knee and say, will you honour me with your hand and heart, which is pretty and old-fashioned and has the merit of originality in these times. Or you could write, or wire, or telephone. But I leave that to your own individual fancy.
You're not serious.
Oh, God, shall I ever live down this disastrous reputation for tomfoolery? You are making Mary damned unhappy, Charles, and I wish you'd marry her and have done with it.
Making her unhappy? Me? Her unhappy?
God knows what you have between your ears. Wood, solid wood. But the last blow seems to have penetrated. Yes, you, her unhappy. Do you get it now?
Peter, if you really thought I could stand...
Don't go off the deep end. It's wasted on me. You keep it for Mary. I've done my brotherly duty, and there's an end of it. Now calm yourself and return to your reports.
Oh, Lord, yes. Yes, before we go any further, I have got a report for you.
You have?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you say so at first?
You wouldn't let me.
Well, what is it?
We found the packet.
What?
We found the packet.
Actually found it?
Yes. One of the barmen...
Never mind the barman. You're sure it's the right packet?
Yes, we've identified it.
Well, get on. Have you analysed it?
They're doing that now.
Great Scott. And I'd virtually given up the suicide theory. Oh, and now I'll have to resurrect it.
Why on earth did you give it up?
Because of Norman Urquhart's activities. Oh, I know it's been shown in court that he couldn't have poisoned boys, but his behaviour has been dash suspicious. He's been so desperate to conceal Rosanna Rayburn's will, he actually faked a substitute to show me. Now, why? If Boys committed suicide, what has he got to hide? Oh, good God. Of course.
Of course what?
Well, he didn't fake it for me. He faked it for Boys.
No, I don't understand.
Look, listen. Rosanna Rayburn leaves her money to split between her two great nephews.
Yeah?
Urquhart knows this, and knowing Boyce's defeatist temperament encourages him to speculate in the Megatherium Trust. Megatherium crashes. Boyce, heavily in debt, comes to Urquhart, asks if he has any expectations from the old lady. Urquhart whips out fate will that shows he hasn't. Boyce, in despair, goes to Bloomsbury pub and takes fatal dose of arsenic. Urquhart collects both shares of Aunt Rosanna's fortune. Q.E.D.
Yes? Oh, yeah. I see. Thank you. They've analysed the contents of the packet.
And was it arsenic?
Bicarbonate.